It's time for mini news sesh. Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to this week's mini news. We have Emily here today. Emily, what do you have for us?
Hey, today I want to talk a little bit about Instagram's new safety feature updates that they've rolled out.
Okay.
And so basically, Instagram is coming up with some new tools to help people recover their accounts if they get hacked. And, we've seen a few accounts get hacked in the past across the interior design industry. Unfortunately, it's a scary thing. It's an upsetting thing. And a lot of people, when that happens, they don't know what to do. And honestly, Instagram's support system isn't great. They don't have great, live support, if at all.
Right.
So they're trying to kind of roll out some things that'll help people when things like that happen and they get locked out of their account.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, so what you can do now is go to instagram.com/hacked. That's HACKED. And you'll be brought to a page where it'll give you a few options. So it'll say, why can't you get into your account? And then it'll present you with some options that'll say either my account was hacked, I forgot my password, the login code was sent to a mobile number or email that I don't have access to, someone used my name, photos, or information to create a new account, my account was disabled, or something else. Those are all the options that you're given. And depending on the option that you choose, it'll give you some steps that you can take from there. Okay. And honestly, the kind of annoying thing that I found, so I tested this out on my own personal account, and I found that most of the options just end up leading you to the help center of Instagram that already existed, right, to kind of help you troubleshoot those issues. So it doesn't actually put you in contact with Instagram support or someone to personally help you out Instagram, which is kind of what I was hoping for. But
right.
It still it streamlines the troubleshooting process for you if you're locked out of your account.
I guess we'll take anything at this point. It's it's everybody. I think everybody who's listening, we've all been kind of locked out of our accounts at some point. Maybe at least know someone who's been locked out of their accounts and just been. I know people who still don't have their accounts, access to their accounts because they've been hacked and they just can't get a hold of anybody at Instagram. They're like asking if anybody knows anybody at Instagram to help them get back in. It's just a fiasco. So anything that Instagram's releasing, I feel like, to help people kind of get their accounts back and things like that is going to be much better.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny you bring that up because if you actually go to Instagram's account on Twitter, every time they tweet something, if you go to the replies, it's just people begging Instagram to help them get their account back.
I don't even doubt it. It's not even a surprise at this point.
Yeah, it's sad, but
Yeah.
So there is another safety measure that they also are rolling out, which I like a lot more. And it's if you get locked out of your account, you can choose 2 friends to confirm your identity to get back into your account, which I love.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, you'd have to be a pretty good hacker, I feel like, to have had that account followed somebody back and then have 2 other people. So yeah, that would be pretty impressive if someone was able to do that. So that's seems pretty safe, I feel like, right? I feel like I could choose my good friends to select.
Yeah, so just make sure that if you have an Instagram account, make sure that you have at least 2 people that you trust who are on there as well.
100%.
So the last thing that they are implementing, they're actually testing this right now, is a way to help prevent hacking on Instagram before it happens. So there have been a lot of instances where people have impersonated, for example, design businesses we've seen. They'll run fake giveaways and that with the goal of getting people's info. So that can be really, really troublesome when people are thinking that it's you, but it's really not you. So Instagram is working on ways of fixing that and deterring that. So what they're doing is they're going to be sending warnings in the app when an account suspected of impersonating someone follows you, or when an account that is suspected of impersonating someone sends you a DM. So if they suspect, they'll have to be flagged. It's not always going to work, but they are working on sending out those warnings to warn you and to verify with you if those are the real accounts or not.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only real option with all of this stuff is you're never going to like have enough of a support system. I mean, there's so many people on Instagram and there's only so much, resources, even within a company as large as Instagram to be able to like field helping people get back into accounts, looking at specific scenarios. So I feel like, yeah, the answer would be just to help stop it at the source, which would be stop people from hacking and things like that. So that's really smart. I feel like that they're kind of taking it that route and starting there. I feel like that's the best answer.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Like, that is the problem, right? They're such a big company that they can't have that one-on-one support that other companies
Right.
can have. All right, so the last thing I kind of wanted to go over then was just a couple tips, and we've gone over this before in past mini news sessions, but just a little reminder, it's always helpful to remind the audience about this, but ways to prevent you from getting locked out of your account and keep your account safe. So the first one, use a strong password. So that means numbers, letters, and special characters in your password always, and uppercase and lowercase letters as well. And along with that, make sure you change it regularly. So at least one time a year, but ideally every few months, you want to be changing that password to make sure that it is new and that people can't potentially guess what your password is. And also make sure that you're not using that same password on any other account. And I know I personally fail that test a little bit because I like to just have I like having to remember just one password and use it across everything, but that is not best practice. That's that puts you at higher risk of someone hacking into your account. So definitely something that you should use. And then the last thing is turn on two-factor authentication in your settings. So if you go to settings in Instagram, there's a section that says privacy and security. And if you turn that on, it will make it so that you'll get a login code when you log in from a new device. So that's a way to help deter people who maybe they do have your username and password, but they can't log in because they don't have that login code that is going to be sent to either your phone, or I believe you can choose it to be sent to Facebook Messenger as well, if you prefer that. But yeah, that's another great way to deter your account from being hacked.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Emily. That is, I think that wraps up this week's mini news. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Mini news sesh. Yeah.